Well, here we're live. I did try a little trimming here. Didn't have the little guards. Oh, I just forgot what number it was. 7263, I think. But 2001-7146 had come out, and that was actually the first TIE fighter, and from Lego. It would be 2001, and that's the back in the days of the blue TIE fighters. And they had printed elements, which is cool. Came with a TIE pilot. They also came with this stand, which I thought was actually pretty cool. It's a very basic. Back to the video I was talking about having, it'd be really cool to have maybe a small piece of base or base plate or something. And of course, this already started the argument a long time ago about the red studs, because in all the movies they've been green. The blue had something to do with the green screen. There's no details inside, but like I said, there's no stickers. And this is a one-piece unit that opened up on the front. And this one, hey, he actually has the vintage TIE pilot. Just a very basic printing on the front. His head stud is just nougat, I guess. Extremely basic head, but it works. Oh, hey, hello, how you doing, man? I don't know how the connection is tonight. We got a storm here, among other things. Oh, the other thing too is this 7146 did have a printed towel for the control panel. But very basic, and I thought it was kind of cool that they included the stand so it's not sitting there wobbling on these things. And they were just technically penned in with these pieces here. I couldn't find him again. But if he appears tonight, we'll deal with it. But they put this little stand in. Oh, yes, a 7263, is it? I made a custom stand because they didn't come with it. If you notice here, 7146, this is a little bit abrupt. I mean, it just doesn't quite, I mean, there's a lot of issues it has, but it definitely is missing something here in the shape. So 7263, I believe it is. I don't remember now. They added this tip here. And they modified it by removing that one grill plate, and they still use the same 2x4 towel over plate. What's up, everyone? I don't have the figure in this one. This one, I think, had the Darth Vader. As I recall, I don't remember. I somewhere around here, I got some of these sets that are set aside with everything together, but I don't remember where it is just yet. Oh, hey, man. Galactic Bricks, how you doing? But, yeah. Anyways, the reason I brought these out was there was a lot of, you remember when 75-300, when these little TIE fighters came out, they're now retiring this year, came out. And they did actually finally put the green studs in, but there's no stickers. They look pretty good. People complain about the size, which is obviously a downsize. But when you really compare it to one of these from 2001, it's actually basically the same size. So, I don't know. And of course, from the Solo movie, okay, made a mess over here. Basically, I always kind of like this build here. It's essentially just a mirror of the Special Forces one for the First Order, the one with the black and the red stripe had the little antennas here. And what I always thought was interesting is this latest one here is literally just a scaled down version. It's not bad at all. The smaller size is better. It's more accurate and it's cheaper. I can buy a bunch of them. Easy to unlock. I know that's the whole thing. They really work. I mean, I didn't hate them even when I saw them in review. When I saw them in person and built one, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. I mean, this is fine too. You know, but there's nothing wrong with this. This probably, if you want to compare it to what you see in movies, in all honesty, to be critical, these are probably a little bit thick. You know, but yeah, the small size works fine. I mean, it really captures the feel. Hey man, Dragonfire, how are you doing? Wow, $28. That's a good price. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Sometimes it's hard to tell what set's going to be available for how long. I picked up the AAT for next to nothing on eBay also. It was really good, really cool to find it. I haven't seen him yet. This is a newer one, of course. I don't know if I have a pile on this one or not. Nope. Just empty. I may not have bought this with the figures. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is one that came with the Membon Stormtrooper and some really expensive figures, I believe, from the Solo movie. But yeah, these little guys are pretty nice, pretty balanced, and the price is good. And I kind of wonder, since they're keeping the Millennium Falcon play scale, looks like around for a few more, at least another year, why can't they keep these and that little X-Wing out? I mean, you could easily do a recolor, or maybe not recolor, maybe a repackaging of this one and keep it out there. Doing well, almost finished the scythe. All right. Yeah, that's a real impressive build. I like that red. I like that red curved windshield. That's a very nice piece in there. Oh, hey man, how you doing? We're kind of working on that. But yeah, it's coming down here. We got like a storm going on. It's been flickering and stuff. I don't know how the weather's going on where y'all are at. Definitely on vacation here. Definitely putting out videos and stuff. Seems to have affected the algorithm, but yeah, it's coming down. But yeah, I've had a pretty good time on eBay. The only thing that was kind of a pain is I had some dark red pieces I needed that looks for all the world like we're legitimately lost somewhere, which is sad because they're hard to get. How old do you have to be to watch a video? It's adult content. I think YouTube's thing is 13 and up. But you know how it is. People can use other people's accounts. Cool and breezy evening here, Colorado. Yeah, it's been raining and lights flickering and stuff here, but my mom's house lost power, but she's like 100 miles away, so. But yeah, I actually like that Dorito fighter, that Sith TIE fighter is pretty cool. I think that the redesign is cool. A couple times I've thought about bidding on a Kylo Ren, which looks basically like a red and black interceptor. I don't know. But digging through and finding old sets. I don't have time to. Yeah. Yeah, between work schedule and stuff, I fell behind on yard work here, that's for sure. Oh, really? The other night, huh? Oh, just found this channel? Oh, welcome here, man. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. TIE fighters, a couple times I've thought about, like this size here, if they kept it on the shelf, would go really well with the Millennium Falcon. You could do the ties that chase a Falcon. I mean, you could do a lot of things. It's like the AT-AT. Why can't they just repack it and have a, well, I don't know, have an Andor one? It doesn't have to be Hoth, you know? Ahsoka sets, I'm just kind of waiting to see what comes out. I did get the 332nd battle pack, and my Clone Army custom parts came in. I thought that the helmets looked pretty good until someone pointed out, I missed a BS point, all the Lego helmets, the new clone helmets, it's not just the holes, but because the whole helmet's been deformed, is that the word I'm looking for? The printing is off, and obviously the 212, it is just glaring, and the whole thing's been shifted. But even on the 332nd, there's quite a space between the ridge on top, and plus the hole is too high. And I did pull a couple, got some from Clone Army Customs, and the hole is lower, the helmets are shaped differently, and the color, I still think I like the Lego orange better than the dark orange that Clone Army Customs uses, but I mean, since you're just using 501st lower halves, it really doesn't matter. It could be a shade of red. It'd be fine. I'm listening with thumping out there, if you're wondering. Oh, cool, man. Thanks for looking into that. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just, if there's no problems, that's ideal. But yeah, when I was at Target today, I was looking at some of the sets. I mean, if you notice, right, in that same lot that the TIE Fighter said to 5300, that sized Boba Fett ship, and also the X-Wing came out, there was that Luke's land speeder. I think the last one until the UCS one had come out. And I don't know why that one just disappeared off the shelves pretty quickly. I mean, it is a pretty decent land speeder, and I like Luke's land speeder. I probably have one of everyone that's ever been released, I think, because I even had the one from like 1999. And I feel we're probably going to be getting another one. I have a feeling they always keep those out. Sorry. But they're going to keep the Millennium Falcon around, so why not keep more iconic stuff too? This, maybe X-Wing. And I dropped a video talking about, like, when I was a kid, and I'm sure we've all seen them, especially castle builds and stuff. They used to use like tiny base plates or small base plates just to stand the guys up on, or something to fight over, or park the wagon, or whatever it was. It would just be so easy to package a small base plate. It'd be so easy to include a small base plate for include it in a battle pack. It'd be so easy to do that. But I don't know. I'm sure Lego probably won't do that, but I think that would improve the battle packs. The little alternate builds are kind of cool. Certainly, the little swamp spade is nice, but you know, but a small base plate, or I don't know. I mean, for me, usually I only get a couple of the battle packs. I mean, I open them. But if you're building a whole army of them, even if it was a really cool side build, I think that you would have probably too many of them. I don't know. I was just looking at the 501st Specialist squad I just recently got, and came with the gun packs, and several boxes were damaged badly enough that I didn't bother to keep them in the collection. So when I open them up, I now have these multiple guns, and they're okay. Those AV guns are fine, but I was just thinking like little base plates or something would have been kind of a cool touch. I don't know. Anyone have thoughts out there on maybe including base plates like they used to? It'd be kind of cool. Maybe four basic clones, or even stormtroopers, and then the base plate. I also would like to see the stormtrooper helmet get changed. I mean, they made the fighter pilot helmets really large, like for the Rebel helmets, and everyone's talking about how great they are. Then, what, a year or two, was that 2018 when that happened? They just went away. But the stormtrooper helmets have remained that weird size. Oh, hey man, how you doing? They remain that, that bizarre size, that dual molded, very bulky looking helmet on the stormtroopers. I really wish we could just return to a normal one, or yeah, the base plates I think definitely need to come back, and it wouldn't take much. I mean, with the whole thing about clones and Star Wars, it would be so easy to just bring back like the old moon plates or some variation of it. It would be really easy, because I mean, base plates. Yeah, I would say you're probably right. Thanks, man. But yeah, I mean, base plates can always be traded or sold or used for mocks. Even if you had really big, nice side builds that gave a lot of parts, you can only do so much with those pieces. Oh, you guys are funny. I'm reading the comments here. They're doing something weird out there. I'm listening to the pounding sound. I know someone had said here recently on one of the lives that they'd gotten the old Interceptor, the old blue and black Interceptor. That'd be kind of a cool one to have. That's a good point. Of course, the thing is, all these great screen names, I mean, really, it's a good way to hide out your intentions anyways, isn't it? But that's all fine, right? So who all here is waiting for the new gunship? I honestly think that the color is great. I think it's absolutely fantastic. Mostly because I like getting away from the same thing. But the downsize, and it's a considerable downsize. I've watched a couple of videos on it. I've kind of gauged the size of the engine, weapons up on top, the two less studs on the wings, and I'm not even talking about the stud shooters and the wings. I'm just talking about just the overall at $140. Oh, good for you. Thanks, man. Dragonfire. So yeah, well, someone told me that trolls are just going to be part of the thing as we grow here. I know certain content attracts more than others, but hey, my first views were people having a good time. So, anyone out here lined up to get that new gunship? I think 140, probably a little bit high. I would rather just pay Ming 170, 169, 170, whatever it is. Have a normal sized gunship. And it's actually a friend of mine, my neighbor actually, that pointed out he's got the original 7163, which, it's old Lego and the parts do fall off. But they're all three gunships, 7163, 7676, 78021. They are all, I was the first one for the day, and that's a good point. Like I said, if I just, relax, don't take things too personally. In fact, I saw a cool, that's cool headstone. It's going to sound kind of rough, but at a cemetery, I seen a headstone where the person literally said, "Don't take things too seriously." It's something to think about. I think I posted it. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just took a picture of it. But anyways, yeah. But that new gunship, I think that they made a mistake. And Lego may say, hey, look, the ATTE outsold it. These other sets outsold it. People don't really want Clone Wars stuff after all. I don't know. I don't know. I think personally, what would have been amazing is if Lego made that Coruscant gunship or whatever they want to do, even the Wookiee one with the yellow wings, whatever they want to do. I don't care. Even a just white and red one. It doesn't matter. And they kept it the same size for maybe 170, 180, whatever it is. No one likes these new prices. Sorry, I shook the table. And then if they want to have a small one, no problem, bro. I'm not worried about it. And if you want to have a small one, check this out. Have MIDI scale. You remember like the old MIDI scale, Millennium Falcon and the Star Destroyer? And they did bring those back. What about a MIDI scale gunship? Think how cool that would be. A small gunship with maybe 1x1s for the main guns and some sort of square 2x2s. A non-Sith Chancellor Palpatine. Yeah, absolutely. Like the way he looked in episode 1. I mean, he still looked. But yeah, that would be amazing. That would be a great figure. That would be a great figure. Yeah, even like the figures look good in the set, but yeah, just a basic Palpatine. That way it'd be easy to work for mocks or whatever you want to do, going all the way back to the first movies. I thought there already was, unless I'm thinking of someone else. And that's a whole thing. I mean, I'm definitely not on top of all the figures. I mean, I found figures in the drawers in my boxes that I was like, whoa. And then a couple of Lobos had just been sitting up on the desk. So I guess we were hiding behind different screen names again. Well, there you have it. What do you guys think about the TIE Bomber? Despite the way it looks, I probably will eventually try to get the original one that's blue and black. Just like dropping parts even when people show them on a video. It would be a fun build. The arrest, yeah, yeah, it would be. It would be fun. Um, there's so many figures that they can make. It's like I think it's set 4501, the original Mos Eisley set. You have the arm printed. Oh God, I can't remember his name. But anyways, the arm print Greedo. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But what's your thoughts on it? You just see where it goes. I mean, last time he just disappeared. So, but yeah, I'd like to see an arm print Greedo come back, and I like the old green better. Nothing wrong with it. And the Greedo head is fine. I do want to see a CIS MTT. Oh, the Boss minifigure, yes, absolutely. Oh, is it? It could be him. I mean, I haven't actually seen the name Jake for a while now. I mean, the only couple of streams I've seen today were on like reaction channels and news, so some of those channels are so modded up that they won't even let you like make a comment or anything unless you've been subscribed for like X amount of time. Grandfathered in was a term that one person used. Seems like a hassle, but you know. Yeah, the Cantina is a great set. I mean, that is probably one of the most ultimate sets. They've actually had some real winners, I think, like the AT-80, the UCS one, the Cantina. Both are amazing. I have really high hopes for this Venator coming out. Nothing wrong with the Star Destroyer. And to be honest, the gunship, although it's gigantic, it is very beautiful. I mean, it really is, you know. And I got the only UCS sets I have the old 2013 X-Wing and the TIE Fighter, and both of those, you know, I mean, the X-Wing actually comes with R2-D2, which is funny because this ship is so big. I know a lot of people would like to see another UCS TIE Fighter. Well, even Luke's land speeder, it's gorgeous. And look how long it's been the last time they made a Sandcrawler that was UCS. But yeah, the Cantina, if you're doing like any kind of a Tatooine mock, I think that Cantina would be the easiest way to get in. Maybe a couple of Obi-Wan huts and you'd be in really good shape. His message, I just saw a little bit of it. Oh, maybe that's it right there. Message is held for review. Oh, unmacked held for review, hidden by. Okay, well there it is. Well, everyone's got their opinions. Could be Jake, I guess. Is that what your thoughts are? He just can't stay away. missing my personality. But yeah, I don't know. I like this TIE fighter here better than the X-wing, and I'll call it what the package calls it. Boba Fett's starship is okay, but that was probably weak of the three. I mean, surprisingly, the Land Speeder was actually an upscaled model. And when I saw the store, I'm like, oh shoot, it's got stickers, but it looks good. Kind of sad to see the Hoth battle pack go away, and I guess it makes sense, but Hoth is a really common, really popular one, and also, I don't know why, but I completely missed, what's his name? Aminar's second attempt to do that Hoth mock. It's funny because when I first got back into the Lego realm, I wanted to do a Hoth mock. And I think all I did was got like a bunch of 1x2s. I got a bunch of white, and it was a lot of the parts were really, really stained. And like, it's too much space, and I forgot the blast doors, and I need a lot of space to. So the walkers are not right up on Echo Base. And I never really pursued that. I know I am figuring out the size. My Geonosis mock is not going to be very big. It's going to be basically a base plate, just enough to support a gunship, and then have enough room to make it a little bit believable that there's like some Jedi still alive escaping to the gunship. So on the gunship, I should probably have Yoda, some of the basic white Phase 1 clones, the 2 yellow clones in the cockpit, and then of course outfit the guns, not on the wings of course, and then maybe on the ground have 1 or 2 Jedi, maybe even unknown figures, because I watched the movie again, and after they escape from the creatures and stuff, and then before they're slaughtered by the super battle droids, when they're herded up, they're more toward the center, right? And then the gunships come down with Yoda, talking about creating a perimeter. So I would think that his gunship was probably the first one that you see that actually makes, or basically makes landing contact, where the other ones were still shooting up and strafing into the bandstands, and also destroying super battle droids, as well as Geonosians. Oh, here we are. It stopped it here, okay. Alright, we'll have to ban you if you keep having stuff like this. Oh, thanks, man. Toss it between does something Hoth related or Tatooine. Tatooine would be interesting because there's so much tan available. I know as soon as I started trying to do Geonosis, I'm going, where's all the dark orange? Dark orange and that nougat color. And I ordered a bunch of nougat from eBay, and they sent a color that it looks like the old flower pots Mom bought, and they were knockoffs on top of that. But Hoth related, I just like the AT-ATs. It would make sense. But I could just do a really easy Hoth one. I could do a totally lazy one. I would just take one of the sets, probably 75054, just because I like the high back and it would look better. So I'm going to remove the head and do the fire and smoke out of it, and build just a very basic white with some lumps, and I think it would look fine. I think that would look fine. For Tatooine, there's a lot of things you could do there. There is a lot of things you could do. It is so vast. You got all the weird creatures. You got the Sand People or the Tusken Raiders, if you prefer. I mean, like, there's just so much stuff. Every time I flip on a movie, I'm thinking like the scene. I was just a little kid when I first saw A New Hope. I mean, it seems like it'd be so simple to do just part of that hallway in the Tantive E4, where the blast doors are, and then you got all the dead rebel troops and some of the dead stormtroopers right before Darth Vader comes in. I mean, that would be a pretty easy one, I think, to do. I know I'd watch some of the Coconut Brick Studios, and he's the one that kind of got me to realize that doing small mocks, so it keeps your interest and keeps you going, and you don't get overwhelmed with the price of parts. Because the shipping on some of the Lego pieces is really, really bad. I mean, it's horrible. Speaking of which, I know I really enjoyed M&R's content about, but I'm seeing the different mocks he's done, and not to be critical, but I think he just makes them too big. And I know that's the attraction, and that's fine, but like that Hawthorne or even the Naboo one, but especially the Hawthorne with some of the ideas he had, you're just going to have to sit down and go, maybe it might be years before it's done. Like some of the little mocks, and people always tell me, well, my mocks are so small, but they look okay. But it's like the reason they're small is because the parts are expensive, and it like takes a tremendous amount of grass to do just even well, not as small, but you know what I mean. And I was experimenting with ways to do water, and I know I could do a little bit of feed to show off the water, but tattooing is kind of easy for me because I have a lot of the grass pieces and stuff, and even when something looks lumpy, if you put the grass on, it's like, oh, okay, it looks pretty good. Yes, agreed. I think that may have a diorama on the way for the hallway scene. Oh, really? That would be cool. That would make sense. By the way, Lego's been putting out some really nice 18-up sets. I just found the one, and I passed on it a few times already, but I just found that one with the indoor speeder chase. And I watched M&R's video on where he combined like 6 of them, I think. But the tree buildings are really neat. But I really like that. And that hallway scene will be interesting, I think. Definitely. I know that I did get Luke's, that little mini set, the Luke's homestead. And of course, there's tons of memes on, what happened to his aunt and uncle. And that's probably one of the criticisms that people do have on the last 3 movies, was how they try to soften the Star Wars world a little bit. It doesn't even make sense with the way that the First Order stormtroopers started in the very first one, where they're just slaughtering all those people. I mean, that's right out of the scene of Episode 4 with the aunt and uncle. That's the same. The trash compactor, yes, I do like that one. In fact, I got one sitting like just off camera there. I got the Dagobah one because I thought that would actually be better. That's what I first got. But actually, I like the trash compactor, and I think the indoor speeder race. The Dagobah one is very busy, and there was a few parts where I had to double check. I guess it's the same person, right? But yeah, the trash compactor was a really cool set, and I was really surprised how everything came to be together. It was really cool. But yeah, for UCS sets, I really like that. I think it's 2007, or maybe it's 2004. Maybe 2004, that Death Star 2. I think right now we're pretty good for mods. I'll just leave it at that for right now. But that Death Star 2 is a really cool set. I wouldn't mind to have that one. They're rare, price expensive, and I mean not like a Cloud City. Good God. It's like I have a sealed set of the Gungan sub, and I had to admit in the video, reason I don't have the newer one is literally because of Queen Amidala. I mean that set, even damaged box or whatever, is really prohibitive. I mean, and there's a lot of other sets I would rather have before tying up that kind of money into that set. But the Target was pretty restocked today. They had a lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff, including stuff that's been retired. They did move the 2 ATSTs. Oh, Prentice the Goat. I can't. I'm not monetized yet. I don't have the watch hours. But that's okay though. I'm still having a blast here. I got like I think 2,000 plus more watch hours to build up. That's how I've been dumping videos out. But yeah, there's definitely some cool stuff, cool sets out there. Kind of curious about. I do want to see. I do want to see that new Venator. That Venator would be totally cool. I think. I mean, I was. I think a lot of people were more excited about that gunship coming out until they started seeing the videos on it. I mean, even. Oh, hey man, how you doing? Even Solid Brick Studio, and he's always kind of really pro Lego. Even he's like looked really disappointed. Well, I'm really happy to hear that, man. Thank you for the great support. How is it going? It's going great, man. And yourself? How you doing? All right. Hey, have a good night, man. Take care, and yeah, let me know sometime. You can make comments or whatever. What sets you want to get? It's definitely good. Well, that's right, man. Don't worry about it. I mean, here I'm sitting here in a grubby T-shirt, moving boxes, and finding old Lego sets. Oh, 1 a.m. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting about that. The time difference. I mean, we're on Alaska Standard Time. We still have multiple time zones. Like Aleutian Chain is on a different time zone, but it's not as bad. I guess at one time, I mean, I'm not old enough to remember it, but I guess there was like 5 time zones in one state, which would be mental. I mean, can you imagine like going across a bridge? That actually happened to me. I used to drive Lower 48, and I don't remember where it was. It's somewhere in the Midwest. And I literally went across a bridge, and I lost 1 hour, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's something, It's all good, man. These things are really heavy and stout too. I like that. I was so disappointed when I opened up my. Oh, okay. Florida's all the same. Okay. When I opened up that 2013 UCS, it wasn't fully done, but it had been opened. Otherwise, I probably left it sealed. And I was like pulling my hair when I go. They put a sticker. They put a sticker for the canopy. I mean, your 4-up sets, all of your play scale, they're all printed. All these things, all printed. And then you have a UCS X-Wing. I know the windshield's big, but it's like, I can just picture a fingerprint or something getting on there. Okay. Well, putting up some videos and stuff out there I've seen. But yeah, I think that a little gunship in like a midi scale would have been fun. I still don't have the third size of the turbo tank. It was small, and then family up the street had it, and they bought it for their kids, and I got to looking at one. Like Dad showed it to me in the garage. I'm looking at one. And I just don't like downsized sets. It's like we come to expect a certain size, and that's the size it should be. You know, um, and I'm not talking about downsize like this so much. I'm talking about more like downsize without downsizing the price, like the gunship or that old clone turbo tank from all those years ago. Okay, well, thanks, Ro. Um, but yeah, it's all good. I mean, the cool thing about Lego is it is a brick built set, so there's nothing to stop you from modifying something. I know there's purists that don't want to change it, but if you really don't like this, you can always upgrade it. You can always make it bigger. And if you're like me, you don't have any imagination, you can always take another set and just make it larger, and you're going to have it, you know? It's like some of those. Yeah, the price definitely had to go down. And I think that's what the biggest problem is. If it's going to be small, I still think, I know I keep banging on this, and I'm up on my soapbox, but seriously, $170, a full-size Coruscant gunship, the same size as a 2013 as a 2008, whatever. And then if you want to have a tiny one, a mid-scale one, display only, but you still should include a figure. Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe a very correct captain. I don't know. I don't know. But on the other hand, though, you know, never is everybody going to be totally happy with whatever Lego does. But it's like that little blister pack. Was it 40558 for the clone troopers, where you had a couple of white clones, phase ones, and the yellow commander. On that blister pack for like $14.99, but almost. I mean, literally, the reason I posted that video, part of the reason was I wanted to hear all these people who got all these deals that I never got. And instead, what I heard was my experience of not being able to get this set was pretty much many people's experience. Yeah. In that 140, even Aminar's video, even I think Solid Bricks said, unless you just gotta have it, waiting for it to go on sale might be the best bet. And because 140 is still a lot of money. I mean, it's like this whole thing about the little 4-up sets, that little ATST and the Chewbacca, the Ewok. They're good figures. And if that set was okay, $19.99, it'd still be a little bit high. I think it'd still be a little bit, but people would be okay with it. If it was $14.99, it'd fly off the shelves. You could even get rid of that weird-looking tree, and it'd still fly off the shelves. I don't know. It's like, you know, everyone. It's like the AT-ATs. I've got what four of them, I guess, different from different years, and they're all basically the same size. I mean, some are a little shorter, some a little narrower, but it's like an AT-AT play scale size. If tomorrow Lego says we got a brand new one coming out, it's going to be the Endor AT-AT. You're going to expect this box to be so big. You're going to expect it to have probably 1,300 to maybe 1,400 pieces, unless it's got some weird side built with it. And you're going to expect it to probably be $140. If it's $150, you're going to say, "Oh God, it's a new price increase." But if it's $130 or $120, and literally, you know, downsized model, you're going to go, "Oh no, can't do that." It's because it won't even match the scale of what you already have, or what you might be able to buy. I would like to see it. I know that the Endor AT-AT is the same, but there's some variations of the AT-AT out there. And I'm not even talking about the first order one, which the heavy one. I would, yeah, I wouldn't mind to get that one, but it's way down the list. There's so many other sets from the Rise of Skywalker. I think the big bomber, would be probably my highest, other than the the TIE Fighters, because you know I like those. And that one video I did put out, every 1,000 subscribers, I will add another one, and I will try to do what was in the back of M&R's background. Only I'm going to do it with the Special Forces TIE. However, I have to stop. If we ever hit 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, I will have to do something else, because I will be simply too tall. That would just be ridiculous. I will probably have to build a little shelf and probably put something. I don't want to actually brick them together, but because I mean these are right here are great, and I think going up to 4 would be no problem at all. But more than that, I don't know. And to me, these actually feel more solid. This one, it's pretty good. I don't know. I tell you what. Is it the 2012 one that had the sticks, the thin rods here? I think it's a 2012. That's not a bad one either. I mean, I'm just glad that Lego makes these things, you know. Yeah, it looks like it's just one watcher now. Almost an hour. That's pretty good. Who knows? Maybe I'll take a call in the early night and watch some Star Wars or something. Yeah, I still remember how that popcorn tasted back in the 70s. I was just a little kid, though. The 1980 Empire Strikes Back probably still be because that was the first movie I went to. I actually went with my friends, and we went to a theater that is gone now, and I was just so amazed to see those AT-ATs. It is just, yeah. That was some fun stuff. Those are stuff memories are made of right there. But I got to replace the legs on that pilot figure I got today. The one with the broken torso. Man, he's in rough shape. I did not do my homework on that one, but it doesn't matter. He's Vermont. I just need 2 pilots or 2 yellow clone. But it's okay though. I'll put those 2 guys in there. I'll put the clones in on the side guns, and of course the wings will be unmanned, because that's a play feature I don't need. And maybe 4 or 5 guys and Yoda inside. I got my super battle droids. I counted them up. I got more than enough to throw a couple on a mock. There's no big deal there. And just work on getting that dark tan, dark orange, and nougat, and trying to get the colors without getting it too lumpy, because I mean that's the arena. It wasn't lumpy there, so I need to work on that. But yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But I got some other ideas I'd like to do, but I'm still trying to figure out how to do like water with like creatures underneath the water. And there's some ideas. You know, some of the old Lego sets, the old Lego bricks, like that old set I showed from 1966 on this channel. Those 2x4 bricks are, I mean, they're trans bricks. What we could do with those if they still made them. I mean, those are old, but they're totally clear. And it's like, can you imagine if you're doing like Christophus? I mean, you could literally make those glass buildings. Throw a couple of light by bricks in there. It'd be amazing. It would be an amazing, fantastic build. And it'd be fun, you know? That's the best thing. And that's one thing I mentioned in the video today is if you're building an army like AATs or TIE Fighters, whatever it is you're doing, the moment it starts to feel like work, the moment it's not fun anymore, you just need to take a break, you know? It's kind of what happened when I was doing those 1999 sealed sets. It costs a lot to get that Gungan sub, and I kind of had to do without a few other things, and I wasn't that happy. I really wasn't happy with the condition it came in. And I said, you know what? Take a little break. Take a little break from this stuff, and don't take it so seriously. Just saying, man, this thing's like 22 years old. Kind of cool when you think about it. I mean, there's some pieces on here I don't think they make anymore, like these big sections here. Those are big brick sections. I don't know about if they even make those anymore. The rest of it's pretty much normal looking. This is common. In fact, this piece here is on the, what was that set? The most recent one that had that, was it the TIE Defender? Where it had the three panels? It is a TIE Defender. That TIE Fighter's just rolling around in there. It's all good. But yeah, gunship is cool, and clean dust off my sets, depending on what they are. If we're talking about just dust, I usually just take an old paintbrush that's never been used for paint and just gently work it out. If it's been like around cooking grease, like it came from a garage sale or something where somebody had it in a kitchen and they were like cooking bacon or something around, because I don't know. I picked one up. It was a Millennium Falcon, and it was so slick. It was gooey, like, ooh. I took a little bit of ivory soap, just cheap soap from Walmart, and took my shaving brush in my case. But you could use this paintbrush, makeup brush, and just gently work it in. And watch out if you have stickers. Watch out for that. And I just use the shower head in the bathtub to rinse it off, and I let it dry out. And I watch, because the grease will run down into like little crevices. You got to clean it out of there. The other option is to take it apart, but I try not to do that, especially if they're old sets. Not because I can't put it together, but because of the brittle blues, like this, brittle dark red, and of course the brittle brown. In fact, M&R had a video where he showed him taking apart a base plate from some mock, and a 2x4 reddish brown brick was actually cracked in half. It didn't matter, it would still support, but it was cracked in half. But yeah, these, that's the best way I've always tried to clean up dust. Just gentle dusting with, like I said, if you get grease and stuff, because somebody doesn't run a fan or location, you might need to use a little bit of mild detergent. I mean, just ABS plastic, right? Basically, or it could be CA plastic, about how old the sets are. That's why sunlight's so hard on them, but otherwise they're pretty much impervious. But yeah, they do get dusty, and I'm a little bit jealous of some of those big channels that they can buy these old sets, or sometimes they're not sealed, but you know, and they got these nice glass places that can put away sets, and they never get dusty. That's cool, and that's something I wouldn't mind to do. I just don't know where I would do that, because I'm always struggling for space, and my Lego collection goes a little bit differently. Like, I am working now. I Googled the Trade Federation Army attacking Naboo, and according to Google, I think I said there was 12 MTTs, 15, was it? Or 16? I think it was 15 AATs. Like 2,000 V1 battle droids. I don't know how many troop transports and stuff. In addition to the MTTs, those open ones. And that'd be something. But yeah, I was going to do a set today, but I didn't really have anything I wanted to tear into, and I was good chance to just sit, and sometimes it's sometimes good to just remember what you have and just see stuff, you know. I did wonder why they turn these top pieces around on these sets right here when there was the other direction until then, but that's what the instructions said, so I did it that way. But it's just funny on every other ship, it's different, or it's the other way, even this old one. Doesn't matter, I guess. But that's such a common piece. I mean, it's been seen on so many sets now. It's 9 o'clock here. We've been on for just a little bit over an hour. I know it's getting late there, and y'all want to probably hit the hay. Like I said, I could definitely sit down and watch some Star Wars movies, make some popcorn, and it sounds like fun actually. I got a can of cold Red Bull. I got tap water too. But yeah, what I've always liked about Lego was the escape that was there. Had a rough time at school, and it was always fun to just. And that was something that even kids that didn't really like me, we could always kind of bond over Lego. Of course, in those days, those were like the old space sets. Jeremy Counter was his name. He had the Alpha base, but I had the Galaxy Explorer, so we're pretty even. But a kid named Nathan was the first one to come up with the idea to try to build an army. It was pretty good. Ever since the minifigures came out, because back then, I mean, you had the action figures, of course, G.I. Joe, and of course Star Wars by Kenner. But when those figures were sold out, we didn't have the internet, and so the way you would try to get antique things or things that are no longer produced is you have to find a seller through the newspaper or a magazine, and you would send what they called SAE, self-addressed sealed envelope. You would literally take an envelope, put a stamp on it, put your name and address on it, and then mail it to the person, and hope that they're legitimate. They're going to send you a list or something what they have, and then they would send you a list. You see what you want, write them a letter, or send them a check or money order or whatever. Trust them to just send you the items, and then trust that one, they actually knew what the item was, and two, it was in decent shape. And I still love to go check them out. Still love to go see who would come in. But no lie, and be a little nervous because be like, God. And I did find the coolest figure, and I still have it now. I have an original 1977 Kenner Sand People or Tusken Raider. It's a factory defect, and the way they're made, you can't really replace it. One leg is slightly shorter. There wasn't enough material, and I have it, and I've had it since I was a kid. So since like the early '80s, like early 1980, 81. So it's real, and that's pretty cool. That's actually really cool. But when Lego came out with minifigures for the first time ever, you could, if you missed a figure, you missed a drop, whatever. If you want to build an army of these guys here for Lego, why you would want to, I don't know, but if you did, and they stopped making them, you could still buy these figures. You could still build figures like this. Even if we didn't have the internet as we do now, even if we didn't have the internet and eBay and Mercari and whatnot and stuff, you could still have done it the old way. And that's how I bought some of my Lego sets. But and that's why Lego is such a great thing for the army, is because army building was because you can always build the minifigures. You can always sort them out, and it's just great. I mean, it really is. Let me move this mount down just slightly there. That's better, so I'm not like staring into the letters. I mean, I really like this little stand that Lego gave us with this 7146 back in 2001. I mean, it's really basic, but it works. I mean, and it's nice, It's just a nice set. And, I don't know. But I'm always looking forward to new sets coming out, seeing what's going to be available, what's going to be, you know, the new thing coming out. And I am definitely looking forward to seeing the new gunship. The price versus the size of it. Like that scythe is cool. It's black and red. It's a big ship. It's got that cool curved windshield. These type fighters, I mean, these were all priced about fine, you know. I guess if they weren't these small ones, I guess they would have been, what, like $80, $90 maybe. I don't know. The other thing I think that I'm really excited about is this new set that I can't remember what it's called. I think it's a Mandalorian set again. But I think it would be really great for LEGO to help soften the blow of the prices and start including 2 ships in a set. I think that's going to be the way to go. Have an X-Wing and a TIE Fighter, or, you know, you can include a TIE Fighter with a Millennium Falcon. I mean, it's kind of a one-off, because most people probably aren't going to get multiples of the same Millennium Falcon, except, you know, I did, but that's just because the situation was that way. But I didn't, like, you know, assemble them and all, put them on display to make a fleet of them. Speaking of which, on my want list is one of those white Millennium Falcons, the Kessel Run, with where the escape pod is still in the front. I do want to grab me one. I just don't feel like paying the kind of prices right now, and there's always something more to get, you know. I'm tired. I don't know if everyone else is. Still got one person watching, unless they fell asleep. I know on YouTube, when I first started looking on YouTube, there was one guy who was uploading just pictures of people on stream who'd fallen asleep, and it was actually kind of funny. I mean, kind of mean, but kind of funny too, you know. There's even one of Sniper Wolf. The reason of the sigh is I'm like, it's really hard to hide if you're a terrible person. It really is on the internet. I mean, people make characters to play characters or whatever, but especially on the stream, their true personalities sometimes show, because it's just like they can't edit those parts out. Anyways, so my want list right now, for anyone who's still listening out there, is I want to get the top, which I think is 2013, that has this thin bars here, and I will grab another. I'm shaking this table like crazy. I'm going to grab another one of those Special Forces one from the First Order, from The Force Awakens, so that I'll be ready to make that display. Wow. And I got one of these old ones in a box. I think it's 7146. But that's about it, man. I got nothing much else to say, because I'm getting tired and getting fuzzy in the head. It's been a long day. Sorting out sets and revisiting old sets, where all those videos came from, to just be going, wow, I forgot I had this, which is kind of sad, because there's probably people out there that would love to have it, would probably never forget that they ever had it. And sometimes I feel bad about it, because I feel like I'm a little bit of a hoarder, but at the same time, I mean, there's enough Lego sets for everybody to have them, right? So, on that note, I want to bid you all a good night, so I will probably get down and watch some Star Wars and some other stuff. Really, really appreciate you guys coming in tonight. It's a great community, and get a lot out of just talking to you guys and just getting some ideas for what's out there. You all take care. Good night, guys and gals out there. I give a few moments for somebody to respond before I shut the stream down. I'll shut it at, I got 9:15. Yeah, good night, man. Great seeing you here.